Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slicky here again, and we are happy to talk with Alliea Phipps from Peninsula Credit Union. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Good morning, and welcome to 2017.
Well, let's make it a great year.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that people need to think about, and we've talked about this over and over, is the amount of debt that people gather over the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Roughly an average of $1,000 per person.
Yes.
We'll start to see some of these bills rolling in the next couple of days, couple of weeks. We'll get those first bills.
How exciting to go to the post office.
Very exciting.
Woo.
And I can only imagine you get to your post box, you open it up, you see these bills, and you have all the best intentions of starting the new year right. This is the year we're going to get out of debt. We're going to get this stuff figured out. And that's all well and good on January 1. But then when you start seeing these bills come in, the fear factor perhaps is getting to revert back to just the status quo.
Well, sure, because one of the things you're looking at, well, first of all, I've got to pay my mortgage or my rent.
Yeah.
I've got to pay my car payment, got to buy food, got to buy utilities, got to keep the heat on, right? So you got to do your basics first. And then you're looking at all these bills and you're thinking minimum balance, right? Minimum balance due. I'll just make that minimum balance due. And they all add up. Eventually, they're all adding up. And that's one of the things that people look at if you're going to be looking at how to pay off your debt. Even just paying the minimum balance isn't necessarily a great thing. And so that's going to ding you down the road.
Interesting. And now, as I look at my credit card statements that come in the mail, there have over the years been changes.
Yes.
And if you read them, you still have to read through them and understand the information. But they kind of tell you if you pay the minimum payment, and you don't add anything to them.
That's exactly it.
And that's another one. It's going to take you umpteen years, and eventually this $250 credit card bill will likely cost you thousands of dollars.
That's exactly right, because of the rate you're paying. And a lot of times on those revolving credit cards, especially the department store cards you're paying a really super high rate. And that's one of the things, especially if your New Year's resolution is going to be to pay off some of your credit card debt or pay off your debt in general, then that's one of the things you need to really look at. And you need to find an alternative. And that's where your friendly credit union is going to come in handy. And one of the things that we have is we have financial counselors, and they are certified financial counselors. People not like me, people who actually can come in and help you, non-judgmental folks who will take a look at what you owe and help you out. They will help you figure out what is a revolving credit card, what is a revolving charge card, what does that mean to your credit, your score. Basically, your credit score. What is a credit score? And they answer all these questions for you. How can you improve your credit score? And they go over what your individual goals are. A certified counselor, actually, one of the coolest things about them is they help the consumer identify what their individual goals are and help you come up with a plan to get there. So if your plan is to pay off one card or two cars, or to be able to afford a car, or maybe to rent an apartment on your own, or to buy a house, they're going to help you come up with a plan to get there. And sometimes it's going to be a short-term goal or a long-term goal. Sometimes it's going to be a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, or maybe a 10-year plan, because goals aren't necessarily something that you're going to get overnight.
Right.
It's like losing weight. I always say.
Takes time.
You didn't gain all that weight overnight usually, and you're not going to lose it overnight. But you're not going to be able to fix things overnight all the time, but it does. It takes time, and it's nice to have a partner. And that's the coolest thing, I think, about Peninsula Credit Union. When you walk in the front door and you sit down with somebody, you've got a partner, and it's going to be somebody who's really going to be with you through thick and thin, and we're going to help you out.
It's really neat, too, when you talk about non-judgmental financial matters, even within family, can be a very touchy subject, very hard. What did you spend this on? How come this charge is on here? But to have a third party, independent, and once you leave, they're not going to lean over the counter and go, oh my gosh, check out this rube that just came in here. Can you believe their situation? No, there's none of that.
None.
Everybody is treated on equal footings, equal levels. And so one of the other things that I think comes from this is people start to become aware of, first off, they got these credit cards and they are aware that they have them now. But then they start to think about their credit score that we talk about a lot, which has serious impacts on the percentages and the rates and the levels of credit that you could possibly get.
Sure.
And there are ways that you can get annual reports. The government has one at annualcreditreport.com. But then there's other companies too that say they offer you.
Oh, they're all over TV.
You see
and
them all
radio,
the time.
They're everywhere.
Oh, you got to know your credit score. You got to know your credit score. But these companies, if it's not the government one, there is a possibility that they could try to get you to open up another credit card.
Well,
Is that
sure.
right?
They're sponsored. A lot of them are sponsored. And if you go down a little bit, and if you get your credit score, then you'll notice they might try to hit you up on, consolidating and getting a credit card sponsored by XYZ Bank or XYZ company or whatever, because that's what they're into. You got to figure it out. They're not there really solely out of the goodness of their own heart,
Sure.
right? You got to know that. And the other thing to remember is you've just run a credit score on yourself through a for-profit company a lot of times, so that means that you've just dinged yourself. It's kind of like if you're going out to look for a new car and you're going from dealership to dealership to dealership and dealership and you're applying for the best rate or whatever, then you've gotten dinged at dealership and dealership and dealership and dealership, and every time you've run an inquiry, that also hits your credit score.
So if you go to your first one, let's say you're doing this, you go to an auto mall and there's 5 dealers. The first one could show you at a certain rate, but by the time you get to the 5th dealer, it now sees 4 other requests, and that rate could be substantially different.
Yeah. If you've gotten them all to run you, sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's the same thing. Like if you're going in over the holidays, if you got 3 new credit cards, wow, then by the end of January, early February, then yes, you're going to notice a difference in your credit score.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So how does somebody get in touch and connected with a financial counselor at Peninsula Credit Union?
I'll always say just walk in. Walk in and tell us your story. And everybody's got their own story. That's the best thing about it. We listen to you, we spend some time with you, and we listen to you and treat you as the individual that you are.
Very neat.
That's it.
Very neat. PCFCU.org is the website. They're also all over social media on Facebook, facebook.com/Peninsula Credit Union, and on Twitter at Peninsula CU 1935. That was the year that Peninsula Credit Union was founded. Very cool.
81 years ago.
Amazing. Wow. Alliea Phipps in here weekly to talk about some of the benefits of being a member and part of the credit union. They do reinvest in you as a Are you not a customer, member?
Well, a member, yes. And we're
Sure.
all members of the community.
Yeah.
So that's it. We invest in the community.
Very
That's what we
nice. Great talking with you.
You too. Thanks,
Happy New
Jeff.
Year.
And
We'll
Happy
talk
New
next
Year to
week.
You got it.
Do you know you have access to the fastest internet in Washington State? Switch to iFiber Communications right now and take advantage of our special offers. Pay only $29.95 for 100 megabit high-speed internet, or get 3 months of internet absolutely free. That's right, $29.95 for 100 megabit speeds or 3 months of internet free. Shop, stream, and game like never before with iFiber Communications high-speed internet. Call 360-427-4000 or check us online at ifiber.tv. Subject to credit approval, valid on a 24-month contract.